Mount Rushmore, a technical marvel carved in stone. Every year, millions of visitors stand in awe before the colossal faces of Mount Rushmore, a monument that has become an enduring symbol of American democracy. Carved into the granite peaks of the Black Hills of South Dakota, it stands as a testament to four presidents and, perhaps more profoundly, to the extraordinary feat of engineering and human perseverance that brought it to life. Mount Rushmore is more than a statue. It is a technical marvel, a story of audacity and innovation etched into the very heart of the American landscape. The ambitious project began not with a dream of a presidential monument, but with the idea of a sculptor, Gutzon Borglum, to carve heroic figures into the rugged terrain. His vision was to carve the faces of four presidents who represented the birth, growth, preservation, and development of the nation: George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Theodore Roosevelt, and Abraham Lincoln. He believed these men, with their monumental contributions, were worthy of a monument of equally monumental scale. The figures themselves were chosen for their pivotal roles in American history. George Washington, the first president, represents the nation's birth and its struggle for independence. Thomas Jefferson, the third president, symbolizes the nation's expansion through the Louisiana Purchase. Theodore Roosevelt, the 26th president, stands for the country's development and conservation efforts. Finally, Abraham Lincoln, the 16th president, represents the preservation of the nation through the Civil War. Each face, a work of art in its own right, is a chapter in the great American narrative. Their gazes cast out over the land they helped forge. The task of carving these figures into a mountain face was nothing short of staggering. The project officially began in 1927 and would span 14 years, concluding in 1941. The team of workers, many of whom were local miners and men with no previous artistic experience, faced a perilous and unforgiving environment. Gutzon Borglum, the driving force behind the monument, was not only a sculptor but also an engineer of immense skill. His method of carving, a radical blend of art and industry, was the key to its success. The first step was to create a detailed model of the final sculpture. From this smaller-scale plaster model, Borglum's team would use a complex and ingenious pointing system to transfer the exact measurements to the mountain face. A plumb bob was hung from a rod above the model, and its distance to the surface was measured at specific points. This measurement was then multiplied by 12, the scale factor, and transferred to the mountain. A worker on the cliff face would drill a series of holes to that exact depth using a special pointing machine or just a simple rope and ruler. This method was painstaking but incredibly precise, ensuring that every facial feature, every detail, was perfectly proportioned. The most dramatic aspect of the construction was the sheer scale of the work. Approximately 90% of the mountain's granite was removed using dynamite. Explosive charges were carefully placed by the most experienced men, who would then rappel down the mountain to the sound of the explosion. They were not simply blasting away rock indiscriminately. They were carving with controlled, calculated blasts, often removing only inches of stone at a time. The remaining 10% of the work was done by hand, with workers using pneumatic jackhammers and chisels to smooth the faces and create the delicate features. Despite the immense danger of working with explosives and dangling from ropes hundreds of feet in the air, a remarkable fact stands out. In the entire 14-year history of the project, there were no fatalities. This is a testament to the safety protocols, skill, and sheer luck of the men involved. Mount Rushmore is therefore not just a static sculpture. It is a living story of American ingenuity and perseverance. It is a monument not only to 4 great presidents, but also to the over 400 brave men who scaled a mountain to carve history into stone. The next time you see its iconic faces, remember the hidden engineering, the dangerous work,